Alrighty, howdy ho folks. Multiversal Medium here for another episode of Harvestella, where we apparently creep up on girls last episode. Gosh dang it, man. Gosh dang it. Like, I know usually with how these stories progress, landlord dude's creep, yeah. He was a creep, he's trying to sell her. Yada yada. Can you imagine if, like, legit that cutscene before we found the letter was legit valid on his end? Like, he's not trying to take advantage of her, he's just trying to get enough money to get the ship or whatever she wants going. Like, that'd be a nice subverting of expectations right there. But why would someone writing a JRPG subvert your expectations, right? That'd be silly. That'd be oh so silly. Oh well. At least the majority of these crops are done. Yeah. And like I said last episode, after all these seeds are kind of dead and done with, I'm not gonna bother with farming. I really ain't. Not unless for some reason we have to for main quest nonsense, which I'm gonna go out on a limb. I don't think it's gonna happen. I really don't. This game is really good at ruining any and all expectations you may have for it. Like, if I need to get more healing items later on, I'll probably just fish and buy them with money because, yeah, I don't feel like cooking in this game. Doesn't really amount to much. Let's see here. Ooh. Move all that. Drop off, drop off. Here, drop that off. Did we actually, like, earn another reward? Is there anything worth working towards with this whole, like, OnlyFans style reward system? Probably not. 2 more and we'll get a present. What will the present be? Fermenting barrel level 2 recipe and flour mill level 2 recipe. Like, what is a better fermenting barrel and flour mill equate to? Am I going to be able to make more at once, or is it more bang for my buck? Because, like, quite literally, we had an entire episode going over it. It's not worth refining stuff. It doesn't make you more money. It's just worthless, really. And then you add on top of that, it's like it takes extra time to not make money, basically. Like, why would I do it? What's the point? Oh, well, then you'd be able to take that thing that isn't worth anything else and cook with it or something. It's like, oh, cool. Does that raise its value? No. What's the point? Close 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Lovely. I swear that... Okay, so I know this game's quote unquote a farming game, and those games have schedules. But those games have schedules while having like one town, and you care about all the characters. So their schedules are you actually learning it to better interact with the characters. Why does this other random town need to have a schedule? When it's just a JRPG thing to enter with how this game handles it. What am I going to go to this bar for later, besides every cutscene related to this girl? Huh? Maybe emo isn't working today? Blah, blah, blah. Oh, now we finally get to see why the bartender has a portrait. He's going to get lines. Can you talk? Can you do it, boy? Where's emo, or where's the landlord? I guess we're here for emo? He can talk. What business do you have with her? We'd like to speak with Emo if we may. I'm sure you do, but the landlord says nobody's to see the diva without his say-so. Seriously, this party member of mine, whatever her name is, Aria? I think it's Aria. She's acting like a creep. Can we honestly just admit that? She's low-key stalking this random, like, singer girl. And yes, I know the plot line in the story is going to go where we actually save the singer girl from this horrible fate. But Arya's just acting like a creep. Just 100% acting like a creep. Come on, just this once, or it's really important. Just this once, it's whatever. Dude, are you seriously gonna... Don't bend to the whimsy of a random person that wants to meet your stage singer when you're not supposed to let them do that. You're a horrible, like, staff member. What the heck, man? He's currently away on business one town over. Said he could be gone a while. Wait, can we... Okay, so take all the cutscenes from last episode out of where it's actually like starting to lead up into her being taken advantage of. Can you imagine how unsafe it is for the bartender to give way to a couple of out-of-town random strangers? Hey, we want to see the girl you have singing on stage. Oh, well, I'm not supposed to do that. Just this once? Well, I suppose I could. No. No. Fine, whatever. This way. Christ almighty. So, like, not for nothing, but is there even a way for him to get out? Okay, so there is a way for him to get out from behind the bar. You just didn't animate him doing that. Because it's a tight squeeze. Why? 100%, they don't need that barrel there. Like, quite literally, they could have just had him walk through it. Whatever. Whatever. They put the barrel in the curtain there so the player can't get over there. Even though there's apparently a way to the back over here that he could have just had another door over here that's closed off that he could have come out. Whatever. It's stupid design is what I'm saying. Moving on. You guys enjoying the music? Yeah, that's what I thought. This is the anteroom where the diva sleeps. She's not sleeping. You are lying. Emo, you have customers. Meep? Oh, look, we made her uncomfortable. Because, you know, this is like stalker behavior. So what's the deal? What's so important you got me breaking the rules? Dude, your lack of ethic is your own fault. 100%, that's your own fault. Don't get up on us about the fact that you broke the rules just because I asked nicely. You show them the letter. Meep! Huh, well done. It looks like your boss intends to sell you to another establishment. Can't stay here any longer. Aria, you don't get to decide that. That bugger. This is what his business trip's about. You don't know that. Like 100%, he could have sent a reply of like, no, I'm not okay with it, actually. But like, there's a lot of assumptions going around. And yes, I know the plot's gonna go that way. It's just not handled well where we could make that safe assumption. Want to help you, or what can you tell us? I think she can say meep, so I'm gonna say that. What can you tell us? She can't even say meep this time. That's rough. What's wrong? Meep? Oh, she can say meep. That's right. She can't speak any human language you or I might know. The boss is able to understand her without any problem, though. Meep. That's rough. Emo seems to agree. That could be a problem. How else are we supposed to communicate? Don't you guys know how to write? Know where she's from, or... Oh my gosh, does no one here know how to write or read? It's really simple. Like, seriously. I know some of you guys are going to argue with, like, well, literacy rates. It's like, it's a fantasy game. They can have literacy rates. It's not actually medieval whatever Europe like Aria thinks it is. It's not. 100%. It's just not. I have a legit multi-tool that transforms into other tools as I want it to, just by willing it to do that. It's fantasy. Who cares? Have people read and write. Do you know where she's from, or is her hometown far from here? Do you know where she's from? Nope. Cool. Landlord just turned up with her one day. Cool. If only we had a clue. Like a map, and she could point to where she's from. You know, non-verbally. You know, because she's supposed to be an intelligent individual. And we could ask her to do that. Only we could. But we won't. I'd say she probably grew up in some far-off hidden land of the fairies. That's a weird thing to randomly say about someone right next to you. Can you imagine? Like, just talking with some dude and he introduces you to his friend. He's like, oh yeah, this is Kale. I don't know where Kale grew up, but if I had to say, it's probably some faraway land of fairies and nymphs. Maybe a few trolls or something. Dude, what? A land of the fairies. Land of the fairies. Seriously? Yep, but it's just a guess. I get the impression the lyrics to her songs are from an old fairy dialect. What? A scholar of such things would stop by here to drink some years back. What? That's when I first heard about it. They used to talk about being able to speak the language of the fairies. If only they were here now. What? The language of the fairies, Don't I have one of those back at my farm? Can't we just do that? Say, Hein. Who else do we know that can speak with the fairies? I can, apparently. You know, Cress, surely you don't mean the mayor. You know, out of these three options, I know I can never trust Cress. She's a scam artist. She's never been a doctor. She keeps telling people she is, but she's never done a single thing as a doctor. She's a scammer. Juno's just like an OnlyFans girl. The mayor? Surely you don't mean the mayor. I would like to think someone so old would be filled with some knowledge of a near-dead language. Wait, so we are talking about the mayor? But I had somebody else in mind. Okay, I was about to say, are you really that stupid? Someone far more capable. That Juno, you know, the one I wanted to rip the wings off of? Like, I had that weird homicidal, like, just moment where I wanted to kill her and squish her like a bug. That Juno. Yeah, I do remember you just kind of randomly losing your mind there. If she's really such a great fairy, then surely she can speak the language, then, no? Sure. Are you saying you're friends with a fairy? I prefer, like, you know, we're not going to go down that route. But listen, I don't like the term fairy. It's a bit derogatory, just because they came out of the closet. More or less. Calling them all the way out here could be a pain. You hear a familiar voice in Ein's clothes. Oh, this got creepy. I ain't okay with this. Ain't okay with us. Heed, children. Repeat as follows, and the great fairy shall grace you with her presence. Oh, great fairy, we call upon thee in our time of need. This, like, the only reason I like Juno more than almost any of the other characters is I get to have a bit of back and forth by calling her out on this kind of stuff. None of the other characters I call out on their BS even acknowledge it. But they're all filled with BS. It's just acknowledged when it comes to Juno. We shall feed thee the tastiest treats 3 times a day. Oh, and brush thy wings every morning. Oh, and you get to trip... Just hurry up with the dialogue. We ain't doing that. It's super slow text dialogue. Well, it's supposed to be her going like, oh, and this, and this, and this? No, just speed up the dialogue boxes, man. We ain't doing this. Anyways, oh, and you get to trip that mouthy redhead 10 times each day. Yeah, I like that one. I like that one too. Recite these words 3 times and don't forget to prepare the snacks. Ein, grab her, quick. I mean, sure, why not? Eep. You were there the whole time, weren't you? I mean, I'm more fine with this than you following me around, Aria. I might have been for a little while. Look, laboring in the fields all day gets pretty boring, okay? You don't do anything in the fields. You know, you don't do anything. You legit just fly around and say like, hey, there's stuff to harvest. Oh, you're leaving? Bye. That's all you do. What do you mean laboring in the fields? Like, you don't, none of you people do anything without me doing it for you. We'll let it go this time, but only because we need to put you to use in other ways. I'll even look past your insult about me being a mouthy redhead. It's not an insult, Aria, it's just a fact. Insult? Why, whatever do you mean? I said that with the greatest of respect. Oh, who am I kidding? So you want me to interpret for the girl? Was that it? At least she's admitting she's insulting you. Because you deserve to be insulted, Aria. Don't like you. Yes, and be quick about it. Alright, alright. Hello, girly. Do you mind saying a few words for me? Not even gonna have the meeping? Okay, sure, why not? This is a first. Can't say I've ever seen a fairy before. You're just now reacting to the fairy thing that came out of my pocket, man? We happened upon her by chance, or she's rude, but she means well. Yeah, she's rude. The scholar did say that fairies are an old species that like to trick humans. Oh yeah, totally. That's pretty par for the course. They like abducting humans they think look nice, dropping them off like centuries later. They've aged up like, what, 10 days? Something like that. See, I told you so, Ein. You didn't say anything, Aria. You said you wanted to kill her. That's all you said. Is that so? I see, I see. Okay, I think I get the gist. This girl is a roadrunner. Your accent's a little strong, so I'm struggling to pick up all the details. And again, you're not really speaking the language of the fairies. Yeah, it's pretty obvious. Meep. After all, we can just speak to, Juno, fine. It's whatever. So, what did she say? Or, we don't mind if it's vague. No, interpretation kind of is important, depending on the language. Like, let me put it this way. Kawaii and kowai. One means cute, one means scary. Interpretation kind of is important. So, what did she say? Well, I can say one thing for sure. That landlord's a piece of work. Yeah, sure, whatever. Let's continue down this thought process. He went and stole the poor girl's lingua site. Are you going to tell us what that is? Okay, Aria's asking, so that means you have to answer. Because I'm certain if I had a dialogue box where it's like, what's lingua site, you would just skip over it. Her what? Lingua site. She needs that stone to be able to talk with humans. Just learn the language. I mean, don't get me wrong, having a magical stone that just works as an auto-translator? Cool. But she's got vocal cords and can apparently speak in a different language. That's what she was singing in. That's what the bartender said. She could just learn this language. In fact, she knows the language enough upon hearing it to understand what it means. She's understanding us talking. Are you saying there's some way like her vocal cords just don't work with the human language? Because once more, she's singing in a language. The only way that would work would be some magical nonsense, and that's just dumb at this point. Whatever. Anyways, so that's how he could understand what Emo was saying. I don't know. That'd be kind of weird. Does the auto translator work so you can also understand people? Because at that point, how can she understand us if she doesn't know the human language? Yeah, there's plot holes to this one bit. I'm going to point them out, sorry. But why should he be holding on to something so important? Sounds like there's some kind of promise involved. But somehow she ended up being forced to sing in the tavern, while that guy still hasn't fulfilled his side of the deal. I'd say he's keeping the linguicide hostage, so she can't ask for help. But sure. Sure. So the landlord intends to use her as some kind of attraction to entice sales? Well, yeah, he was doing that. He wasn't making the money, and now she's selling her. Did you not pay attention to the earlier plot bit? Just like what was written in that letter, he plans to sell Emo. Okay, like, the bartender remembers, Aria. Why don't you remember that? That means we don't have time to dilly-dally. Why does everyone in this game say dilly-dally? Was there anything else? He said he was keeping the linguicide because of a promise he made. I'm pretty certain she just got scammed. Meep, 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 meep. Oh, so that's why. For some reason, she needs a boat and some help to take her to the summer seas light. Okay, cool, but why'd you hand off your language thing as collateral for him to do it? When he needs you to make the money. You got scammed, girl. You just got scammed. The landlord said he was going to give her both of these things, but never did. Yeah, she just got scammed. She's stupid. That must have been what he was talking about the other night. Oh, you mean the night you demanded we just kind of creep on her? We gonna admit we did that, Aria, or not? What do you need help with, or why the seas light? Why does it always come back to that? Meep. She says she can't say just yet. I know she can't say. She can't talk in our language. I want her to say it to you, though. Understandable, considering how the landlord has tricked you. I would be surprised if you trusted us so quickly. I mean, that's logical, Aria, but I feel like if she didn't trust us, you'd get angry. It still works out wonderfully, since we're both heading to the seas light too. Are we? Why are we heading to the seas light? Nobody's given me a valid reason besides, hey, you need to go do that thing. We should take this opportunity to help Emo too. I don't want to. Do you own a boat? No. We do not. He's got a point. It's not like we have the money to buy one either. Talk about yourself, girl. I'm like 5 days of fishing. 5 days of fishing, I bet I could probably afford a boat in the universe. If a dang house edition, as well as like a building or whatever, costs like 5,000 on my property, 5 days of fishing non-stop, get like 20 to 30,000 in universe. Probably fine. Probably could afford a boat. Not the best boat, but I could afford a boat. At least we're in a fishing town. There must be a spare boat sitting around that we can borrow. Aria, what is with your reading comprehension? Or just your listening capacity? Every fisherman's had their boat sank. Actually, you'll be hard-pressed finding anyone who will put their boat in the water since Lorelei showed up. Oh, right, the thing I didn't pay attention to earlier. I remember hearing something about that during the row. At the tavern? The row? Can you use row as a kerfuffle or a scuffle or anything? Like adjacent word? Like, I'm not familiar with that usage of the word row. Okay. What was it again? Their boats filled with water when they heard Lorelei's ballad? Yeah, apparently it's a song that does water magic. Cool, we got it. Cool. become quite the rumor. But a fisherman's boat is their life. You won't find anyone willing to risk theirs. Does it have to be a fisherman's boat? Come on, let's just make our own, or does it have to be a fisherman's boat? I'm not making a boat for you guys. I'm not. We ain't doing this. Fishermen or not, I don't think anyone is about to risk sinking their boat. Like, we can buy one. I have money. Like, the second you stop buying seeds, it's not hard to make money. We'll just have to think of another way. Like money, like the money I can get, it's too soon to give up now, right, Ein? I have money, just let me use it. Let's take a walk around town and see if we can't find any useful gossip. Okay, cool, we're going to the atelier for the weirdo who's making random things and probably an outcast. And we're going to do a side quest for him, and then he's going to let us use his boat or whatever. That's all steampunky or whatever, who cares? Okay, yep, moving on. Get it, got it, good. I don't like this game's story. I really don't. It's really easy to pick apart. No suspension of disbelief at any point. Oh, hey, look where we're going. The atelier. Who'd have thunk? Place that was closed earlier. The place that's like mystically open now that we've done like 3 cutscenes here. Nope, 4 cutscenes here. Wow, this place looks like crap. This building looks nothing like the other houses, does it? Wow, your power of observation, Aria, is both profound and annoying. You astound me with your basic comprehension of building structures, and annoy me with your constant usage of words you shouldn't use, like anytime you start talking. Oh yeah, I remember when this dude was introduced, I said the artwork reminded me of Radiant Historia. Off screen, I looked up like Radiant Historia, like portrait artwork, nothing alike. I can't remember where I've seen this art style from before. This dude just reminded me of it because of blonde hair, haircut, and red tunic. But I swear I've seen this artwork from somewhere. Some JRPG somewhere has a similar artist, or maybe the same artist for portraits. Whatever. So this part isn't strong enough after all. What's this? Customers, my humble atelier. Dude, are you making like a submarine? Can I get in on wheat bread? Oh, I remember you. We met in Leith, didn't we? No. Can you be obsessed with her? Can you be like creepy with her instead of me? She's another girl. Can you be creepy with her? Aren't you going to introduce me to your lovely lady friend? Cool, awesome. Crisis averted. 2 red flags going together. I'm Aria. And is that? Oh, this? It's called a sunken ship. No, it's a submarine. Pretty impressive, or it doesn't look very sunken. That's because it's not yet sunk. Gosh, it's a floating ship right now. Oh, we need one of those. It's a sunken ship by classification. I've named her the Fiesole. Stupid name. Why? Because I don't know what it means. Gorgeous, isn't she? I mean, I guess if you like rivets and metal, sure. Just look at her buxom curvaceousness. This is starting to get weirdly sexual and I'm not okay with it. Oh, look at this part. Like, not for nothing. What is it? Hein? Yeah, Hein? Yeah, not for nothing, but you're the kind of dude that's like into robots, right? Like the kind of dude that's into robots, right? Yeah, you are, aren't you? Now, a lady should know better than to touch what doesn't belong to her. Dude's a creep. I must say, I was skeptical when I heard talk of a ship that sinks itself, but this? What do you mean we heard talk? Oh, right, I was supposed to talk to all the villagers about gossip. But I didn't do that because it just let me come here. I'm certain if I talked to NPCs, they'd be mentioning like a submersible. Whatever, but Yeah, apparently I just skipped that because the quest icon said come here. Because you know, it was pretty obvious this is where I needed to go. Tell me, how does it withstand the increase in atmospheric pressure when it's submerged? I don't think it would be atmospheric. Is it atmosphere like up in the air and stuff? Would it be just the increase in pressure while underwater? Anyways, you do that by having like a vacuum around the outer shell and a very sturdy outer shell. Like basically submersibles are giant like thermoses. Moving on. What's this? So you are no ordinary lady after all. Well, you see, after a great many tests... blah, blah, blah. Aria and Heinz are talking shop. Can I go? Can I do other stuff? Apparently got a fairy in my pocket. Can I just go to the corner and talk to the fairy? She's funner to talk to. I didn't know you could use the monolite in such a way. It's more advanced than I realized. Okay, that's the thing I actually care about. What do you mean use the monolite in a certain way? How do you guys use monolites? Did they seriously just off-screen world-building lore about the Seaslight and monolite stuff? Did they seriously just do that? This entire time they've talked about Seaslight and monolites and how they're important and vital to every piece of infrastructure and society as we know it. They have refused to give details. They are so busy hand-waving this stuff that it's not even worth being a plot line. They could have completely rewritten this whole Seaslight thing into, yeah, these giant crystals are acting up and they're messing with the things around them. The summer Seaslight or whatever one we're near, it's messing with the seas and causing boats to sink. That would be enough driving force. But no, they went out on a limb, said it was vital to the infrastructure and everyone uses them in various ways. And they won't explain it. They legit just hand-waved it again. It is a conscious choice that they're refusing to elaborate on. Because they didn't world build to that degree. Legit, they're never going to explain it at this rate. You're never going to know why the Seaslight and monolites are used in everyday society or what they do. They aren't going to explain it. They just did it off screen. It's effing insulting. It's our entire driving force and they're not going to explain it. Like, it doesn't even need to be a deep explanation. It could be something very basic. Heck, nobody questions in Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles the need for revitalizing the crystal during like the entire plot of you going around getting dewdrops to revitalize your village's crystal, because your village's crystal makes a giant barrier that keeps miasma at bay. 100%, it's still fantasy gobbledygook, but they won't even go to that degree with this. Just some very basic explanation, and I wouldn't give a crap, and they're refusing. Anyways, I could continue the cutscene. I'm sorry, just it's infuriating. But if it spreads too far, then there's a chance it could really confuse historians centuries from now. Aria, get off the time travel nonsense. That's not what's happening. It's just not. Wow, what's this gem? Don't tell me you're secretly dripping with riches. Oh, that? It's an imitation. A byproduct of a previous invention of mine. It's completely worthless. A discerning eye could tell you it's a forgery quicker than a heartbeat. So you're telling me you have all these fake gems that you could be selling as like costume jewelry, and you're like, yeah, but a real jeweler would know it's fake. And it's like, yeah, but you can sell them super cheap, have a stamp on it saying it's not real jewels, and people would still like it and maybe give it to their kids. You know, like costume jewelry. Whatever. Dude could be making bank. Still, even imitation gemstones have some value. There are people out there who wouldn't care that it's a fake. That's what I just said. For them, it's not about the value. It's about how rare it appears. It's just more pretty thing that you can get at a decent price. I suppose not everyone is quite as philosophical as you, hmm? Aria, I don't mean to, like, go out on a limb, but I'm pretty certain he just called you stupid. So, why are you both here? Sure, it's not just to catch a glimpse of my latest creation. Yeah, it's actually I want to borrow the sinking boat, but have it float kind of thing. Would you take us to the Sea's Light, or we want to borrow your boat? Mind taking us to the Sea's Light? To the Summer Sea's Light, you mean? Well, my ship would certainly be suitable enough to help you with your endeavor. It's not like you're asking me to take you on a pleasure cruise. Oh, would you be okay with it if it was? Aria, go back to the bar and get some, like, wine or whatever. Just get some wine, we'll get him drunk, and we'll just take the boat while he's, like, passed out in the boat with us. You can't blame me for asking what it is you expect to achieve there. I don't know, I keep getting told I need to go there. We're hoping to keep it something of a secret, but I guess we don't really have much of a choice. Aria, you're really not good at being tactful. Like, one, I was just kind of told wild goose chase wise from the fairies, hey, go to all the Sea's Lights. You'll calm them down and everything will be great. Which makes zero sense. I have no reason to do that, and I have no real means of doing that. I wasn't even the one that calmed down the last Sea's Light. It was Dianthus. I didn't calm it down. Like, it's not even like a secret. It's a whatever. Emo, come in. Are you? What? What? Why is she here? What? Aria, why was she following us? What? Emo needs to go there, which is why she's trapped in some awful promise to the tavern landlord. You explained the situation to Hein. I don't want to. Oh dear, human trafficking is quite a repellent concept. Is it in universe? I mean, I personally do, but it's kind of weird how this seems like a normal business thing for the landlord, but apparently everyone else is actually really against it. No, this is probably a pretty common thing in universe if it's a common thing amongst businessmen. So, don't pretend to be on a high horse. If you're perfectly fine with this universe, it's probably pretty common. Not gonna lie. Which I suppose is fitting for such a repellent landlord. I like how you guys still haven't given him a name. It's not much effort to call him, like, some random name like Tedward. Tedward the Landlord. Landlord? Tedward the Landlord. But yeah, that's all they need to do. It's just a random name. It doesn't matter. Why are you refusing to give NPCs that are low-key vital to the plot names? Was that beyond your budget? So you wish to take Shatola's resident diva to the Sea's Light? Sure. I guess that's our job now as opposed to what the fairy wanted us to do. Doesn't matter. They're all fake. Like, all these jobs are fake. It doesn't matter what I'm doing. Have the sirens awoken something? I don't... Dude, don't have some, like, weird insight thing and just have it in parentheses. Nobody cares. It's not foreshadowing. This game isn't written well enough to have good foreshadowing. Don't bother. Is something wrong? Not at all. If the beautiful diva wishes to go, then who am I to turn her away? Hold on a second. Why were you so reluctant when it was me who made the request? Apparently he doesn't think you're pretty enough. Oh, well, how do I put this into words? You're not quite up to my level. Come, you must know what I mean. Oh, yeah, I was right. He doesn't consider you pretty enough. No, I don't think I do. Whatever. We got what we came for, and you've agreed to take us to the Sea's Light. I can't wait to ride the boat, or is the sunken ship really safe? I can't wait to ride the boat. You're so easily amused. Aria, every day with you and every moment with you is a burden upon my psyche and my soul. For once, I'm gonna float in some way, shape, or form without said weight. I want to ride the boat. Shut up, be quiet during the entire ride, and I may actually learn how to smile again. Still, it may become a self-fulfilling prophecy if we keep calling it a sunken ship. How about a submarine instead? I already called it that. That's a wonderful idea, Aria. I like how he just instantly goes along with it. In that case, she will be called the Submarine Fiasola. Okay. Why call it a sunken ship at the start then? If you're just gonna switch it to it's a submarine. Like, sunken ship was actually a fine fantasy thing, and I was not like upset about it. It's a fine bit of world building, sunken ship, whatever. This is 100% the exact same thing that happened with Dianthus, where like they're like, yeah, we call you like humans so and so, and it's like, oh well, I'm not gonna call you that anymore, and it just became a worthless plot bit. It's nothing. Why call it a sunken ship at the start? He could have called it a submarine, skipped all this dialogue about it being called a submarine instead of a sunken ship, and we could have moved on several text boxes quicker. There was no point. There was 0 point. You got rid of the world building as soon as you put it there. Same cutscene. I will prepare the ship for departure. Come back and see me once you've completed any preparations of your own. Yeah, sure. Let's just do this. We're good. What preparations? Who cares? We're doing a dungeon crawl. Anyways, guys, it's been an episode. I've had my infuriating moments that are par for the course for this series. I'll talk to you guys later in another episode of Harvestella or whatever. And until then, ciao.